A single 26-year-old quadriplegic who had broken her neck in a car accident years earlier is now facing criticism online after she recently gave birth via C-section to a son after 5 rounds of IVF. Of course, that costed over $12,000. The single mother, who has to rest her baby on a pillow because she can't pick him up, has now asked her mom to take off work for a year to help care for the baby as a full-time grandmother. And this has obviously sparked a lot of intense discussion about IVF in particular. We've recently done a story on the show regarding IVF. There's a lot of ethical questions when it comes to IVF. I'm curious, as the OB-GYN on the panel, your thoughts on this.
I understand her desire to, have a baby, but I don't agree with this. I honestly,
Really?
I don't. I feel as though it's unfair for the baby and potentially dangerous if she's in a situation where she's the only one watching the child.
Well, she does have help.
Right now.
She enlisted her mother.
For the next year,
Well,
correct?
I think that goes without saying that she's going to need help there forever.
So do you feel that it's fair for the child to be intentionally? Now, I understand sometimes things happen. So you have a baby, you have a car accident, things happen, and then you deal with it. But to intentionally do this, do you feel that's fair?
The child will suffer because of it. But clearly, the mother, I think, has the potential to be a great mother. I mean, based on those pictures, she really wanted to have a kid. She loves this kid. She will do everything that she can in her power as a quadriplegic, but clearly she's going to need help.
To me, I would never criticize a mother who wants to have a child. I think the bigger question here is, should the clinic, and where do the ethical boundaries lie? Look, IVF, I'm going to give my honest 2 cents. I think that there are people in it for the money. And I'm not saying in this case in particular, but IVF is a very profitable industry that does amazing things. But there are always going to be people pushing ethical boundaries, because along with IVF, we're very soon going to be asking ethical questions like, should you be able to choose the eye color of your child? Should you already can make some other choices genetically. And I think with medicine, I always get a little bit concerned with I don't know what the word is, but it's almost as though we are in a place where we truly can begin to play God, so to speak, and it's a little bit scary to me. The whole thing.
In this case, there was some sort of review process that I guess the clinic, the other clinicians, whatever, I don't know if there were social workers or psychologists or whatever, but they reviewed this case, looked at the mother, is she going to be a good mother, stable mother, whatever, before they agreed to do the treatment.
If there was truly an independent panel that analyzed all these factors and came to that conclusion, it's one thing. But if you're the clinic who's taking these $12,000 and putting it in your bank account, there is an extra incentive. And that's what worries me in medicine, is when you don't separate what's right versus the money.
But
and
it's the mom's money. It's her right. If she wants to spend $12K on a kid because she's never had a kid and really wants a kid, and the only way to have a kid is IVF, I mean, that's sort of her right. I mean, I know.
Well, and I'm not saying it's not her right. I'm not saying it's not her right. And I think it's why it just raises so many interesting questions. And in this case, look, I do believe that at the end of the day, the most important thing as a parent is to provide emotional support to your child. And there are plenty of parents out there who are bad parents who move all 4 limbs quite well. So I don't think it's a judgment at all on her as a mom. In fact, she'd probably be a wonderful mom. But these questions, I'm more so alluding to the fact these questions are going to become more and more common. And you could also say, well, it's their child. They decided that they wanted their child to have blonde hair, and that's their right. My question is more of this overarching question of, where do you draw the line?